When a woman cheats, she's not chasing another man. She's escaping the one she became with you. I need you to sit with that for a moment. Really sit with it. Because in my 15 years coaching couples through the wreckage of infidelity, I've heard every excuse, every justification, every tearful confession. And here's what nobody tells you. By the time a woman crosses that line, she's already left you 1,000 times in her mind. If you value truth over comfortable lies, hit that like and hype buttons immediately. Subscribe to this channel and tell me in the comments what city you're watching from. I want to know where my strongest, most aware men are tuning in tonight. My name doesn't matter. What matters is what I've seen. I've sat across from women who looked like they had everything. Good husbands, stable homes, kids in private schools, and watched them describe affairs with delivery drivers, old college friends, even their husbands' business partners. And every single time, beneath the guilt and the shame, there's this look, this quiet, terrible relief. By the end of this, you'll understand the 7 real reasons women betray, not excuses, emotional blueprints that most men never decode, warning signs written in a language you were never taught to read. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The betrayal doesn't start in the bed. It starts in her silence. Let me tell you how this actually works. Most men think cheating is impulsive, a moment of weakness, too much wine at a work conference, a mistake. That's how men cheat. Women? We build toward it like architects. We plan it in the spaces between your words, in the seconds after you stop listening, in the nights you roll over without asking if we're okay. A woman cheats like a storm forms, slowly, invisibly, then all at once. That's why she seemed calm before the conversation, where she said she needed space. That eerie, settled calm that made you think maybe things were fine. Men always tell me, she seemed normal right up until she left. Yes, she did. Because calm doesn't mean peace. Calm means the decision was already made. I had a client once, let's call her Sarah, 43, married 16 years, 2 teenage boys. Sat in my office and told me she'd been sleeping with her son's soccer coach for 8 months. Her husband never suspected. Know why? Because she wasn't acting guilty. She was acting lighter, happier. He thought she'd finally gotten over her depression. She hadn't gotten over anything. She'd just found somewhere else to put her pain. So let's go inside the psychology most men never get to see. Let's talk about what happens in a woman's mind before her body ever touches someone else. Here's what you need to understand. Emotional betrayal comes before physical. Always. Her loyalty fades in her thoughts long before it shows in her actions. It starts small. She stops replying mid-conversation, claims she fell asleep. But you check the Wi-Fi activity, and she was scrolling until 1:30 in the morning. She's watching her friends' stories, reading articles, doing anything but being present with you. That's not fatigue. That's emotional rerouting. She's redirecting her attention, her energy, her emotional investment. She's practicing distance. And by the time her body follows, her heart already moved out months ago. Now, let's decode the 7 minds behind the act. Reason 1, emotional starvation. She feels invisible. And someone else finally sees her. You ask, what's wrong? But your tone says, please make this quick, I have emails to answer. You're not actually asking. You're performing the ritual of asking while checking your phone, loading the dishwasher, already moving toward the next task. Meanwhile, her coworker asks the same question. But he leans in. He remembers her coffee order, oat milk, no sugar. He texts her, good luck, before her presentation. He notices when she cuts her hair. You didn't notice her haircut for 3 days. This is how it starts. Not with grand romantic gestures, with attention, with the basic human need to be witnessed. Attention becomes oxygen. And she's been holding her breath in your presence for so long that when someone offers her air, she gulps it down without thinking about the consequences. I want to be clear. She doesn't want him. Not really. She wants to feel visible. She wants someone to look at her like she matters, like she's not just the person who reminds you about dentist appointments and asks if you ate lunch. But here's what makes this dangerous. She tells herself it's innocent. It's just nice to have a friend who listens. It's refreshing to feel appreciated. And then one day, that friend becomes the person she thinks about first when something happens. Not you, him. That's when the shift happens. That's when you've lost her, even though she's still sleeping in your bed. But the second reason isn't loneliness, it's punishment. Reason 2, hidden resentment. Every time she swallowed her anger, she built a quiet revenge file. You forgot her birthday once, just once, 5 years ago. You apologized, you made it up to her. You thought it was over. It's never over. She remembered it, filed it away, added it to the list of times you made her feel small, overlooked, secondary. Maybe you cancelled date night for a work emergency. Maybe you criticized how she loaded the dishwasher. Maybe you made a joke about her weight at a family dinner, and everyone laughed, so she laughed too, even though something inside her cracked. She never told you how much it hurt. She learned a long time ago that voicing pain just makes her the difficult one. The nag. The overly sensitive wife who can't take a joke, so she kept score silently. And then her best friend says, "You deserve to have fun. You deserve to feel wanted." And suddenly the rules change. Betrayal stops feeling like a sin. It starts feeling like justice, like finally taking back what was stolen from her. I've seen this play out dozens of times. A woman who would have never cheated, who thought she was above it, who judged other women for doing exactly what she's about to do. She crosses that line because somewhere deep down, she believes you owe her this. You owe her one moment of feeling like she's enough. She cheats to restore balance, to make the scales even, to take something back. And when you find out and you're devastated, part of her, the part she'll never admit exists, feels satisfied. Because now you know what it feels like to be hurt by someone you trusted. But resentment isn't the most dangerous fuel. Admiration is. Reason 3, curiosity about her power. She tests her remaining influence in the world. Listen carefully. She flirts not because she's bored with you. She flirts to confirm she still can, somewhere between becoming a wife, a mother, a professional, a daughter taking care of aging parents. She lost track of herself as a woman. Not your woman, not anyone's woman. Just woman. Desirable. Magnetic. Worth pursuing. She posts a selfie she never would have posted before. Angles the camera just right. Adds a caption that's just ambiguous enough. Then she waits. Times who views it first. Checks who reacts. Feels that little hit of dopamine when the notifications start rolling in. This is about validation. Yes. But it's deeper than that. It's about power, about confirming that she hasn't disappeared, that she still has the ability to be wanted by someone who doesn't know about her stretch marks, her anxiety, her habit of eating crackers in bed at 2 a.m. when she can't sleep. One of my clients told me, I needed to know I could still make a man nervous. Just one man. Anyone. She was 48, married 22 years. She started an affair with a man she met at a conference. It lasted 6 weeks. When I asked her what she got out of it, she said, proof that I wasn't invisible yet. Infidelity becomes self-validation. It becomes evidence that she still matters, that her body, her wit, her presence still has currency in the world. She's not craving another man. She's craving proof she still exists beyond the roles she performs for everyone else. But power is nothing without attention, and attention has a darker twin. Reason 4, emotional substitution. She replaces emotional connection before replacing physical touch. Watch this pattern. She says she's texting a friend, but you notice the same smile, the one she used to give you, the one that meant she was genuinely happy, genuinely engaged. That smile doesn't come out for you anymore. It comes out for her phone, They're discussing life goals, music, career stress, everything you stopped being curious about. You stopped asking her about her dreams because you assumed you already knew them. You stopped asking about her day because her answers were always fine anyway. But she doesn't give him fine. She gives him paragraphs. She gives him vulnerability. She tells him about the promotion she's afraid to go for, the novel she started writing and abandoned, the way she sometimes feels like she's watching her life from outside her body. He becomes her emotional first responder, the person she turns to when she's happy, sad, confused, excited. You've become the person she turns to when the Wi-Fi stops working. This is the betrayal that happens before bodies ever touch. This is the moment you should have been terrified, but you didn't even notice because she was still doing your laundry and showing up to family dinners. By the time the physical affair starts, emotionally she's been gone for months. The physical part is just making her body match where her heart already went. And the next reason is the one nobody admits out loud. Reason 5. Revenge of the ignored feminine. She doesn't want to cheat. She wants to feel desired without having to explain why that matters. Deep in her psychology is this need to be pursued, not in a shallow way, in a way that says, I choose you, every day, out of everyone. I choose you. But you stopped choosing her. You stopped pursuing her. She became default, automatic, the person who's just there. She starts dressing up for errands, wearing perfume to go to the grocery store. You don't notice. Her friend notices, says, you're glowing. You think it's new skincare. It's not. It's the attention she's getting from someone who still sees her as a conquest, not a given. Here's what men don't understand. Neglect is louder than words. It echoes in the silence where compliments used to be. It screams in the gap between the woman she is and the woman you treat her like. She needs to feel feminine, desirable, like her presence is a gift, not a household function. And when you stop providing that, she'll find someone who will. Not because she's shallow, because she's human, because desire is a fundamental need. And when it goes unmet at home, it starts looking for satisfaction elsewhere. But some women don't cheat from lack. They cheat from fear. Reason 6. Fear of emotional death. She confuses comfort with decay. You're happy. The relationship is stable. No fighting, no drama. Everything is fine. That's exactly what terrifies her. She looks at you and sees forever. And forever looks like this. Predictable dinners, predictable conversations, predictable routines on predictable nights. The same vacation spots, the same jokes, the same life year after year until one of you finally walks away. She says, we're good, but you catch her staring out windows, looking restless when you're content, picking fights over nothing because at least fighting makes her feel something. I had a client tell her therapist, I miss chaos, I miss feeling alive. She was 46, married to a man who treated her well. No abuse, no addiction, just comfort. And comfort started feeling like suffocation. Some women cheat because they need adrenaline therapy. They need proof they're still alive. Proof they can still feel danger, spontaneity, the electric charge of uncertainty. The affair becomes evidence that she hasn't flatlined, that her heart still races, that she's still capable of passion, even if it's forbidden passion. It's not about you being boring. It's about her being terrified that this is all there is, that she's peaked, that the most exciting parts of her life are behind her. So she creates crisis, she manufactures risk, because crisis feels like life and calm feels like death. And the last reason is the one men always underestimate. Reason 7. Emotional exit strategy. The final betrayal. She cheats not to stay, but to make leaving easier. She knows it's over. Maybe she's known for a year, maybe longer, but she can't leave. Not without a reason that justifies blowing up her life. Not without something that makes her the justified party instead of the villain who abandoned a good man. So she needs ammunition. She needs to feel like leaving isn't her fault. Like you drove her to this. She picks fights, weaponizes silence, criticizes things she never cared about before. Then she uses your reaction, your confusion, your frustration, your anger as evidence. See? This is why I can't stay. Watch her social media. Her captions shift from we to me, from us to I. She's narrating her exit in real time, building a public case for why she deserves to leave. And then she cheats. And when you find out, she has her escape hatch. She has her reason. She has permission to walk away without being the bad guy in her own story. The betrayal becomes emotional anesthesia. It numbs her guilt about leaving. It transforms her from abandoner to victim of her own circumstances. Now you know the why. Now let's talk about what it reveals about you. The mirror effect. Every reason she cheats reveals what you stopped seeing. I'm not saying it's your fault, but I am saying this. She didn't destroy loyalty in a vacuum. She mirrored your emotional absence. She reflected back the disconnection you created. Think about it. When did you stop being curious about her interior life? When did you stop noticing the small changes? When did her presence become wallpaper instead of artwork? The point isn't to hate her. The point isn't even to forgive her. The point is to never go blind again. Because I see it all the time. After the divorce, after the chaos settles, she suddenly becomes everything you once wanted. She's vibrant, she's free, she's exactly the woman you fell in love with. You know why? Because she's finally getting the attention, the pursuit, the emotional investment from someone who still sees her as a choice, not an obligation. And you're left wondering, was that person always there? Could I have had that if I'd just kept my eyes open? Every betrayal starts as a whisper you ignored. The uncomfortable truth: women don't cheat from pure impulse. We cheat from unmet emotional equations, from invisible math that's been calculating in the background of your relationship for months, maybe years. A woman cheats when she stops trying to be understood and starts auditioning for someone who already does. She doesn't wake up one day and decide to destroy her life. She wakes up one day and realizes her life already feels destroyed, that she's been pretending to be fine while falling apart inside, that she's been present in body while absent in spirit. And when someone offers her a way out, or even just a way to feel alive for an afternoon, she takes it, not because she's cruel, not because she's immoral, but because she's reached the point where the pain of staying quiet exceeds the fear of consequences. That's the uncomfortable truth. She didn't cheat to hurt you. She cheated because she'd already been hurting, and you never noticed she was bleeding.